this is going to be the start of our meninges right here, which is basically just going to be the covering of the brain. This is the durameter, which is the sac-like thing. The middle lining is going to be the falx cerebri right here, and then you come down and then you have the tenatorum cerebelli, which is going to be covering your cerebellum. And then once we're done with this, you come over to the actual brain, and the glossy covering that's covering is going to be your pyometer. Then we go down after. This region right here of the brain is going to be your cerebrum, so like your two cerebrum halves. Then we're coming back to the actual sheep brain. This portion right here, these two are going to be your cerebral hemispheres right here. Then we come to the lobes. This is going to be your frontal lobe right here, and then your temporal lobe is going to be right over here, and then your parietal lobe is going to be like right up here, and then your occipital lobe is going to be towards the back. Then we have our longitudinal fissure, which is right here. The gyrus is going to be the meaty portion of the brain, and your sulcus is going to be the lines that are like going into the gyrus. Then we're going to flip it over this way right here, and then this right here is going to be your olfactory bulbs, so 1 and 2, and then this is going to be your olfactory tracts, which are going right into the olfactory bulbs. Your cerebral cortex is going to be this, like, let me see, get a better one. Your cerebral cortex is basically just going to be the outer lining of the brain, just like your renal cortex. And then we're going to go down into our corpus callosum, which is going to be this portion right here of the brain. And then we're going to go down into our fornix, and our fornix is going to be right here, which will also be on this room right here. So our cerebral cortex here, then we have our corpus callosum, which is right here, then we have our fornix, which is right there. The inner linings of here is going to be our lateral ventricles, and our lateral ventricles contain our choroid plexus, which is going to be like the brown stuff in the inside of it. And then we have our septum pedunculum, which is going to be in this bag right here, so it'll just be this white portion right there. And then we're septum pellucidum, I'm sorry. And then we're gonna go down to our diencephalon, which is going to be this portion right here, essentially. So from here to like here, essentially, a portion of the brainstem. So we have our thalamus, which is right here. We have our third ventricle, which is right here. Our third ventricle is also going to contain our choroid plexus. And then your optic chiasma or chiasma is going to be, I'm so sorry. Optic chiasma is going to be, right here. This is also your diencephalon as well. So your optic chiasma is right here. And then we have our optic tracts, which are right here, and our optic tracts are going to lead into our optic nerves, so this one and this one right here. And then we have our pituitary gland, which is going to be right here, and underneath our pituitary gland is going to be our mammillary bodies, so this one right here is going to be our mammillary bodies. And then we have our pineal gland. What was that on here? Our pineal gland is, if we turn it over on here, so it'd be like this little portion, like right here in between the thalamus, on this portion of the diencephalon.
And on the sagittal brain.
Where's that again? This one right here?
That one. You can show them that one too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is going to be your pineal gland right here as well. Thank you so much. And then we're going to go down to our brain stem, which is this portion right here and this portion right here. And this portion right here is going to be the midbrain. Here? No. Stop that right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go down to our brainstem. So it'll be this portion right here. So this like subsection right here is going to be our midbrain. So right here, and then we go down into our pons, And then this portion right here is going to be our medulla oblongata. And our medulla oblongata is also what contains the pyramids. So it'll be just this right here of the medulla oblongata portion. And then this is your spinal cord. And then so I'm gonna also go back up. So when you go back up here, we also have our, sorry, give me 1 second. Which one were we looking at to see it? Literally this one. Okay, so this is, we go back up. This is going to be our corpora quadrimina, so it'll just be the quadrant of it. So we have two superior, so superior, superior. Go down, we have an inferior and an inferior colliculi. So inferior colliculi, superior colliculi, superior colliculi, and they are going to be a part of the corpora quadrimina. And then these are our cerebral peduncles right here. Where are they on here? Because they're not on here. Right? Oh, your cerebral peduncles are right here as well. My apologies, y'all. And then this portion right here is going to be our mammillary body as well. And then turning around, these right here are going to be our thalamus. And I'm gonna cut it right there for that one. So in between our thalamus right here and our thalamus and our superior cocculi, we have our pineary gland. And this is also going to be the vermis of the cerebellum. So also going back to the brainstem down here, this is going to be our pons right here. This is going to be the medulla oblongata going down towards this way. And then this little section right here, right across from the cerebellum and the brainstem, is going to be known as our fourth ventricle. And then going back to our pyramids are just going to be like right here along the medulla oblongata. And then we know for the vermis is going to be right here, and it is also going to be like this section right here on the other brains. And then we go to our arbor vitae, which is right here, and then our cerebellar hemispheres are just going to be the two sides of the cerebellum. So this is one side of the cerebellum hemisphere. And then our chiroid plexus is going to be right here, and I don't think that there's any in here. Yeah, no, there's no chiroid plexus in here, but it'd just be like right here within the third ventricle. And yeah, that's it.
Did you say the cerebral aqueduct?
No, I'm trying to find the chiroid plexus because it's supposed to be in here. Unless they're gonna split it out and do this.
Yeah, they probably were.
So, I see it. We're recording now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never stopped.
Oh, so I'm sorry. This right here is gonna be our cerebral aqueduct, which is going into our fourth ventricle, and our chiroid plexus, my apologies for lying to y'all, is actually gonna be this in here.
No, it's not. The chiroid plexus is up here.
Yeah, and there's some in here because it's supposed to be in the fourth ventricle too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. See? Fourth ventricle, chiroid plexus.
Oh.
So I feel like they just open it up and show that because it's right there. Okay. See it? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to give them the rundown of this as well. So going back to the sagittal head of the sheep, this right here is going to be our cerebrum. We come down, this is our corpus callosum right here. Then the under portion of it right here is what is going to be our fornix. And then in the middle right here, we have our septum pellucidum. To get a better view of it, it'll be this right here in the middle. And then going back, we have our third ventricle, which is just going to be this like little space right here, which will contain some of our chiroid plexus right there as well. Then coming over, this is our thalamus right here. Then this is our aptic chiasm right here. And then going back, this right here is going to be a portion of the mammillary body right there. Then this is our pineal gland right here. This will be our superior colliculus, I'm sorry. And this is going to be our inferior colliculus right here. This is going to also go into our cerebral aqueduct. and then which will lead into our fourth ventricle, which will be right here. Then you open up the fourth ventricle, and there's more choroid plexus in the inside right there. This will be the pons of our brainstem right here. Then going down will be the medulla oblongata, and then this will go into the spinal cord. And then coming back to the cerebellum, this is going to be half of a cerebral hemisphere right here. And then we have our arbor vitae in the inside, and I think that is it. So now starting with the nerves, this is going to be our optic nerve 2 right here at the top. Then going down, this is our ocular motor nerve 3. And then going down to nerve 4, this is going to be our abducens nerve right here. Then going to trigeminal nerve number 5, which is going to be right here. And then this is trochlear nerve number 6, so it'll be that white stringy portion like right there. And then if we're going to the actual sheep brain, which we learned, our optic nerves are actually going to be right here. So this is optic nerve 2 right here, because it's not on this one. Then going back to this one, here's a really good ocular motor number 3 right here. Our abducens nerve number 4 is going to be right here. Then trigeminal nerve number 5 is going to be right here. And then trochlear nerve number 6 is going to be right there.